Davis is putting up career numbers in his first season with the Lakers. And though most expect the Brow to re-sign with LA, he's keeping his hometown, Chicago, on the back burner.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's nothing like playing at home. I don't know. I am a free agent next year, but I mean...
Next question.
We'll see.
Young man,
responsibility.
He's playing to his crowd. You play to your crowd.
You do.
That's what you do. You play to your crowd.
But there is a second level to it.
Okay.
He is a free agent, and obviously he's best served playing center for the Lakers. He doesn't want to play center for the Lakers.
Wants to play the 4.
And
they would like him to.
He has the ultimate leverage because he's never once, nor has his agent Rich Paul, committed that he is re-signing with the Lakers. Now, I believe he is re-signing with the Lakers, but don't make me unhappy now. Those Bulls, they'll have a max cap space for me.
Don't do me like that, AD. Don't do me like that, man. We traded the entire team, basically, for you to come from New Orleans. We need you.
I found out...
Just so I'm clear, both of you guys are now are you both...
Well, I've always been a Laker fan.
Yeah.
Nick is on the LeBron James bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm not a Laker fan.
He's not
I want to make this very clear. I root for greatness, and the greatest athlete ever happens to currently play for the Lakers.
Yep.
So as long as that's the case, I will be rooting for LeBron and by proxy the Lakers. But I'm not a Laker fan.
Proxy.
Canny is a dyed-in-the-wool Laker fan, I found out. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Well, I mean, before LeBron James came
guy?
there wasn't really a reason to advertise that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, he's a Virginia guy.
I did know that. It was a little more...
Virginia guy. I'm a Bronx guy. What are you talking about?
I know
nothing.
nothing.
Well, you know what? We've had nothing factual in this
Wait, you're not from Virginia and you still went to that whack school? I just assumed it was like a state school thing.
Hey, listen, it's the only scholarship I can get.
That's a great school, UVA. Time for stories to start your morning. Last night, Dak and the Cowboys handed the Giants a 19-point loss. Dak threw an interception on his first play, rebounded nicely to toss 3 touchdowns after that, though. Nick, what'd you make of Dak's performance last night?
I'm now legitimately bitter Candy didn't pick Syracuse. We could have used you. All right, listen, Dak last night, mixed bag, as a lot of these Dak Prescott games are. Obviously, the game started off with a disaster, a tipped pass interception to start the football game. And then after that, a lot of dinking and dunking, a lot of just methodically moving the ball. But there was that play where you see a soft part of the zone defense. Amari Cooper's there. You deliver a strike, and that essentially ended the game. So I don't think Dak played poorly. I also don't think he was one of the driving factors to the Cowboys' victory.
Yeah, same here. I mean, Dak Prescott made plays when he needed to. I mean, right before the end of the first half, he's able to extend the play, gets out on the pocket. The Giants lose track of Blake Jarwin on a crossing route that ends up turning into a 42-yard touchdown. So Dak Prescott did enough to be able to win the game, but we are talking about them playing against a Giants defense that has been awful the entire season.
All right, yesterday the Eagles got some bad news. Wide receiver DeSean Jackson will undergo surgery today to repair a torn abdominal muscle. He'll likely miss the rest of the season. All right, Kenny, how big of a loss is this for the Eagles?
That's a big loss because they don't have a vertical speed element in their passing game, and you just look at what they have at the receiver position between Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar. It just leaves a lot to be desired in that Eagles receiving core. Now, they do have 2 pretty good tight ends, and they've got a pretty good running back in Miles Sanders, who they've utilized in the passing game a lot. So that's who Doug Peterson will have to lean on. But that's a big loss for a team that has championship aspirations.
I said this offseason that I thought this could be one of the 3 most influential free agent acquisitions of the offseason. The Eagles getting DeSean Jackson. We saw it for 1 game, essentially. The first game of the year, he got hurt in that. His first game back, he got re-injured. And we have seen Carson Wentz in 2017 with Torrey Smith as a legitimate deep threat, played the best football of his career. 2018, they thought Mike Wallace could be that. He wasn't. 2019, they thought DeSean Jackson could be that. He was that for 1 game. I think it's a very substantial loss for Philly, even though they're losing something they never really had, except for that first game of the year. They thought they'd have him at least for the playoff run. Now, if they even get to the postseason, he's obviously not going to be a part of it.
All right, on to the NBA. Last night, James Harden dropped 44 points on the Grizzlies, led the team to a win, while Russell Westbrook took a load management night. The old popular load management night. Nick, how impressive was the beard last night?
Listen, James is going to do what James does. The difference was last night his shot was actually falling. He has been abysmal from 3-point range this season. Going into last night, aside from 1 game last night, he hit 3s, and that was why He had 44. That was why they won. The Rockets have some more systemic issues that are not solved by one good James Harden night, but they can't win with him shooting 22% from three as he was going into last night's game. So it was good to see his shot get back on track.
Yeah, Jenna, it looked a lot different than it did at the Barclays on Friday night for James Harden. But here's what I'll say. His performance was impressive. The team, not so much. They were tied midway through the third quarter with a Memphis Grizzlies team that's rebuilding and no Jaren Jackson. So I don't know what to make of the Rockets, but that team has got to tighten up on the defensive end. Now, that's saying a lot for a D'Antoni coach team, but if they're going to compete in the West, they're going to have to stop somebody at some point.
All right, the Lakers are now sitting atop the Western Conference. Great news for Chris Canty, who we found out is a Laker fan, even though he's not from California. LeBron James is a big reason why, posting triple-doubles in back-to-back games and leading the NBA in assists. After Friday night's game, LeBron hopped on the gram, posted this: "My drive and passion will outweigh your hate. Nothing you can do to stop me. You only help me. Hashtag revenge season. Hashtag the kid from Akron." He's big mad, Nick. Big mad. Yeah. What? Nick, can a re-energized LeBron lead the Lakers to an NBA title?
Yeah, he can. Looks like he will. You know what year 17 LeBron looks like? Year 14 LeBron, or year 11 LeBron, or year 7 LeBron, or basically the LeBron James we've gotten every single year after his rookie season.
Yeah.
Rookie season comes in, he's a 21, 5-5 guy. And since then, despite oddly never actually having a 27, 7-7 game in his whole career, he's given you 27, 7-7, year in, year out. This year, he's doing it a little differently. 1 less point, 1 more rebound, 4 more assists. 26, 8, and 11. He's playing out of position, but that out of position is allowing him to lead the NBA in assists by a wide margin. He right now is, if you care about the nerdy defensive stats, he's a top 3 defensive player in the league so far this year. And it turns out, for the first time in a decade, not having a 100-game season. We saw no teams had gone to 4 straight finals until recently, when the Heat did it, the Cavs did it, the Warriors did it, obviously. The Warriors amazingly went to 5 straight, and now the entire team is injured. Everyone that's a part of it
There's no one left right now playing.
Because bodies are not built to play 5 consecutive 100-game seasons. LeBron played 8 consecutive, and then his groin gave out on him, and last year was a lost season. And then he got some rest, got some rejuvenation, spent some time, it would appear, on a very nice boat in the south of France. And he came back and reminded everybody, hey, that best player in the world title, it still goes through me. And with him playing like this, Canny, and Anthony Davis being Anthony Davis, and the Lakers actually having a living, breathing NBA head coach, I don't know if Frank Vogel's great, but he sure as hell ain't Luke Walton. Yeah, this is the best team in the NBA right now.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you talked about LeBron James and that injury that he had last year. That was probably the best thing for his career, knowing that he's getting a little bit older. The fact that he was able to get some rest this past offseason, not having an extended playoff run, he can come back this year and be rejuvenated. But I go back to something that Nick noticed at the beginning of last season about LeBron's game, and he said LeBron didn't look as engaged defensively. It looks completely different this season in terms of his engagement on the defensive end. All you got to do is go back to that Mavs game on Friday and look at how he played in the final minutes of that game in the fourth quarter and in overtime. He took over that game, but it was started with his defense. The fact that he set the tone for that team and that they've embraced defense as being the identity for them, I think that's going to bode well for them, because at the end of it, I think it will be the Lakers and the Clippers. We know the Clippers can play lockdown defense, but I think that this LeBron James, if we get this version of him the entire season, especially on the defensive end, I think this Lakers team is right there. And ultimately, when you look at the star power, I trust LeBron James and Anthony Davis a little bit more than I trust Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
But Nick, this is almost like LeBron, I don't want to say 2.0, it's like 7.0, if you will. He leads the league in assists, so he's obviously just altered his game a little bit. He's playing defense for the first time in a long time, and he's actually enjoying playing with the people around him. Just talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I think the defense point, the team right now, they're the #1 defense in basketball. They have the #1 defensive rating. They're #1 in opponent field goal percentage. They're 2nd in opponent threes. And so and that's where Vogel gets credit, because that is what he was known for in Indiana. Didn't work out for him in Orlando, but that's where Vogel gets credit, and it helps when you have Anthony Davis on the inside and LeBron out on the perimeter. But where LeBron made a point after the game, I think it was Friday night, against the Mavs, where he was asked about his defense, and he said, here's what's never happened to me my whole career. No one's ever singled me out defensively, meaning they don't hunt him the way Steph would get hunted. Like, oh, let me get LeBron on a switch, where his on-ball defense has always been exceptional. Where it lagged last year and where it lagged in the regular season the last few years with the Cavs was his off-ball defense was lackadaisical, was at times he almost seemed like he wasn't paying full attention on the court, which is very not like what we're used to LeBron first decade of his career. This year, I think to set the tone for the team, it has been the opposite. His off-ball defense has been exceptional. He's always making the right switch. He's always getting to the right place. The offense, he will always be an A-plus offensive player, because even right now when his shot's not falling, he's the best passer in basketball, and he's got Anthony Davis as a cheat code to dump the ball down to. So the Lakers right now have a league average offense. That'll get better. If they can be a top 5 defense, and right now they're the #1 defense, they will not only be the best team in basketball, they will clearly be the best team in basketball, because to your point, that's where the Clippers are supposed to have a huge edge.
Yes.
The Clippers were supposed to have a huge edge defensively, expecting the Lakers would have an edge offensively. Up to this point in the season, that has not been the case.
No, it hasn't been the case, and LeBron James told us coming into this season, a lot of people been playing with the throne.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be back with a vengeance. Guess what? He's back.
Looking like it. He's still the best player in the league. It's only been 14 straight years.
All right, let's move on back to some football.